Hello everyone, welcome once again to this online session, chemistry class for class 10. Today we are going to start revising this chapter, acid, bases and salts. We have completed the revision of the chapter, periodic classification of elements. I had given many questions which had come in your board papers in the previous years for that chapter. Similarly, for this chapter also I'll be giving you important questions from the examination point of view. But now at present I'm just beginning the revision of the basic contents of this chapter, like what are acids, what are bases, what are its classifications, what are its properties, how does it react with metals, carbonates and bicarbonates. Those things we'll finish first and then we'll go to the question and answer session, right? Now let's begin with acids. What are acids? Acids are substances that are sour to taste and they produce hydrogen ions in water. And examples of acids are sulfuric acid and hydrochloric acid. Many other acids you can give. So the basic property is that acids turn blue litmus red, right? And these litmus paper are used for the confirmation test for the presence of acid or a base. If it's a base, when you are using red litmus paper, when you bring in contact with the base, it turns blue. If it's a blue litmus paper, when it is brought in contact with the base, it remains blue. Similarly, a red litmus paper, when it is brought in contact with acid, it remains red, whereas if it is a blue litmus, it turns red. Okay. Now, acids normally react with metals to produce hydrogen gas. So, acids are substances that produce hydrogen ions in water. They are sour to taste. They change the blue litmus to red, and when they come in contact with metals or when they are made to react with metals, they liberate gases. Now, see, the reaction of acids with metals, carbonates and bicarbonates are very, very important, right? So, we will learn that in detail. It's just a revision here. First, when acids react with metal, it will produce the corresponding salt and liberate hydrogen gas. Magnesium is a metal. When it reacts with sulfuric acid H2SO4, it liberates hydrogen gas and forms magnesium sulfate, which is a salt. So acids, when they react with metal, they produce salt and liberate hydrogen gas. Similarly, when acids react with carbonates, they produce the corresponding salt, water and liberate carbon dioxide gas. Similarly, when acids react with bicarbonates also, they will produce salt, water and liberate carbon dioxide gas. For reaction of acids with carbonates, I have given the example for sodium carbonate with hydrochloric acid. It forms sodium chloride, which is a salt, water and carbon dioxide gas. Similarly, with bicarbonates, that is sodium bicarbonate I have given here, NaHCO3, when it reacts with hydrochloric acid, it forms sodium chloride, water and liberates carbon dioxide gas. So you should be thorough with the theory part of this. When acids react with metals, it will produce salt and liberate hydrogen gas. When it is reacting with carbonates or bicarbonates, it will form the corresponding salt, water and liberate carbon dioxide gas there. Okay. Next, we'll learn about classification of acids here. Acids can be classified as organic acids and mineral acids. The acids which are obtained from plants and animals are said to be organic acids. For example, citric acid, which we get from your lemons, right, are said to be organic in nature because they are obtained from plant products, right? Similarly, mineral acids or inorganic acids, they are mainly used in the laboratories, like your hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid. They are termed to be strong acids. When you are handling them, you have to be highly cautious. You have to follow so many precautions when you are handling these strong acids in the lab. Okay. Now, acids can also be classified as strong acids and weak acid. Okay. When it is a strong acid, it completely dissociates into ions. When we were doing this lesson, we had learnt about the formation of hydronium ion. You remember? H3O, right? So, it completely dissociates into ions. For example, your sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, they are all strong acids. Whereas weak acids, which do not dissociate completely into ions. For example, all your organic acids, your acetic acid, your citric acid, those things which are obtained from plants, right? Let's learn about bases. What are bases? Bases are substances that are bitter to taste. They turn red litmus blue. Okay, and the bases that are completely soluble in water are said to be alkalis. Okay, and they produce hydroxide ions in aqueous solutions, right? And these bases also produce hydrogen gas when they react with metals. Okay, and they produce carbon dioxide when reacted with carbonates. Now we'll study the reaction of bases with metals. So we saw just now, when bases react with metals, they form or liberate hydrogen gas. I've given an example here. Sodium hydroxide, when it reacts with the metal zinc, it will form sodium zincate and liberate hydrogen gas. Now these bases, when they react with acids, they form corresponding salt and water. So this can be called as an example for neutralization reaction. Okay, so when acids and bases react with each other, they form salt and water. This is an example for neutralization reaction, or this reaction can also be called as neutralization reaction. So you can call a neutralization reaction as a reaction between acid and a base to form corresponding salt and water. Next, when bases react with non-metallic oxides also, they will form salt and water. So you can say non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature, because the reaction, whenever the reaction between an acid and base takes place, it will produce salt and water. So when base produces salt and water on reaction with a non-metallic oxide like carbon dioxide, you can call that reaction also as neutralization reaction. So I've given an example of sodium hydroxide coming in contact with carbon dioxide to form sodium carbonate and water. Now, bases can be classified as strong base and weak base. Strong base is one which completely dissociates into its ions in aqueous solution. For example, your sodium hydroxide, we had done when we were learning this lesson, right? And similarly, your ammonium hydroxide is a weak base because it does not completely dissociate into its ions in aqueous solutions, right? Next, see, how will you determine the strength of an acid or a base? Strength of an acid or a base can be determined by using a pH scale, which is numbered, you know that, starting from 1, right? So it has got different color band strips. It was shown when the lesson was taught to you, right? So the strength of an acid or a base can be determined by using a pH scale. Okay, so a pH scale, it is used to measure the concentration of hydrogen ion in a given solution. The letter P stands for potence, that is your strength or power. Okay, when you get the pH value equal to 7, that means the solution is neutral. When you get the pH value greater than 7, it is an alkaline solution, or you can call it as a base. Now, when the pH is less than 7, you call the solution to be acidic in nature. Remember, when pH is less than 7, the solution is acidic. When it is greater than 7, the solution is base or alkaline in nature. When it is equal to 7, you call it as a neutral solution. Now, what are the similarity between acids and bases? See, both acids and bases react with water. They produce ions in water. Okay, they both are good conductors of electricity. Okay, and when acid and a base come in contact with litmus paper, they both change into the respective colors. That means what? A color change happens in the litmus paper when it comes in contact with an acid or a base also. And similarly, you can say on reaction with metals, both acids and bases will liberate hydrogen gas. Okay, with this I'm coming to an end of this revision session. So I have completed till acids and bases and about pH scale. The next class we will learn about the importance of pH in our everyday life. We will revise, okay, and then we'll be learning about the different salts. Okay, then after that I'll continue with the important questions which had come in the previous year's papers and pertaining to the exam. What are the questions that you can expect? Those things we'll discuss in the next session. Till then, you keep learning. Have a good day. Bye. Take care.